Soren and the Sleepy Screen. Soren sat on the big, lumpy green sofa. His thumbs were moving like lightning, tap, tap, tapping on the glowing glass of his phone. The rest of the living room felt far away, like it was hiding in a fog. Soren didn't notice the sun shining or the smell of cookies in the kitchen. He only saw the bright, buzzing pixels. Finn, the scruffy clay dog, trotted over with a bright red ball in his mouth. He dropped it right at Soren's feet and wagged his tail so hard his whole body wiggled. "Woof," Finn said, hoping for a game of fetch. But Soren didn't look up. He was busy trying to win a digital race that never seemed to end. Outside the window, the world was putting on a show. A giant, shimmering rainbow arched across the sky after a quick afternoon rain. It was full of colors Soren had never seen on a screen, deep violets and glowing oranges. But Soren's eyes were locked on a game where he was sorting little gray boxes into piles. As the hours ticked by, Soren's neck began to ache and his eyes felt scratchy, like they were full of sand. The bright light from the screen made everything else in the room look dim and gray. He felt like he was inside a tiny bubble, and the bubble was getting smaller and smaller. Finn tried one more time. He stood on his hind legs and nudged Soren's elbow with his cold, wet nose. The phone slipped a little, but Soren gripped it tighter. "Not now, Finn," Soren muttered. Finn let out a long, sad sigh and curled up into a lonely ball on the rug. Suddenly, the screen made a tired bloop sound. A little red battery icon flashed once, twice, and then, poof. The screen went black. Soren pushed the button. He pushed it again and again. But the glow was gone. The room was suddenly very, very quiet. Soren looked up and blinked. His eyes felt heavy, but as they adjusted, he saw Finn. The little dog was watching him with big, sad eyes. Soren realized he hadn't patted Finn's head all day. He felt a little pinch in his heart, realizing how much time had slipped away while he was staring at the glass. On the windowsill, a tiny garden snail was crawling slowly across the glass. Soren watched it move. It didn't have a go button or a score, but its shell had a beautiful swirl of gold and brown. It was real, and it was right there. Soren reached out and touched the cool glass, fascinated by the snail's slow journey. Soren scooped up the red ball and whistled. Finn's ears popped up and his tail started to thump against the floor. Thud, thud, thud. Together, they bolted out the back door and into the bright, green grass. The air smelled like fresh mud and flowers, and the wind felt cool against Soren's face. That night, the phone sat on the kitchen counter, dark and still. Soren didn't miss the glow at all. He was too busy tucked under his blankets, telling Finn a story about a giant snail that traveled across the stars. His eyes weren't scratchy anymore, and his heart felt as big as the moon outside his window.